The Vatican permits Catholics to receive COVID-19 vaccines that are used cells derived from aborted fetuses. Marvi Delphine will give us the details live. Marvi?
Steph, being vaccinated against COVID-19 is now morally acceptable for Roman Catholics as deemed by the Vatican after anti-abortion religious advocates flagged ethical concerns about how the vaccines were researched and manufactured. According to the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops, or USCCB, which issued a separate note to American Catholics last week, both the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines have some link to cell lines that came from fetal tissue aborted in the 1960s and 1970s, and that often have been replicated since. Now that the first vaccines against COVID-19 are already available for distribution and administration in various countries, the head congregation for the doctrine of the faith signed and issued the note on Monday to address the topic after several requests for guidance and clarifications on the matter debated within the clergy. The Sovereign Pontiff Francis examined the note and ordered its publication. The Watchdog Office for Doctrinal Orthodoxy said that the declaration was not a full endorsement of vaccines and does not indicate a cooperation with any acts of abortion, which is considered a grave sin in the Catholic Church. The Vatican notes that the use of such vaccines was permitted as long as there were no alternatives, and that the granting of moral legitimacy was related to the principle of differing degrees of responsibility of cooperation in evil. In its statement, the Vatican explained that obtaining vaccines that do not pose an ethical dilemma is not always possible, and that while the use of vaccines was voluntary and as a rule not a moral obligation, the common good may recommend vaccination, especially to protect the weakest and most exposed. The Vatican understands that health authorities do not allow citizens to choose the vaccine with which to be inoculated. Given these circumstances, the Vatican reassured its followers that getting a COVID-19 vaccine jab would not violate the Church's teachings. The religious institution also urged the pharmaceutical industry to develop completely ethical vaccines and for governments and international organizations to make them accessible to poor nations. While the Vatican did not give a word on whether Pope Francis would be vaccinated against the coronavirus ahead of his pilgrimage to Iraq set for early March next year. Steph?
Thank you, Marvi, for that report.